A lot of people feel trapped, and most of the things that hold us prisoner are not things outside us, but things inside us, in our minds and in our hearts. And the things that hold us prisoner are not physical things like prison cells and chains and or those sorts of things, but they're the intangible things in our minds, our regrets, our thoughts, and our guilt. My father grew up in the 1930s in a rural town in Spain, and there were 8 of them in the family, his mother, father, and he had 6 brothers and sisters. His youngest brother was called Antonio, and Antonio was born with epilepsy, and he was very ill as a child. One day, my grandmother went to go early to work, and little Antonio wanted to follow her and go with her. So my grandmother gave the order to my father to restrain him, to hold him back. Well, my father had to really hold him tightly because little Antonio really wanted to go with Mum, and maybe he had to wrestle him to the ground. I don't know what happened, but maybe Antonio even had an epileptic fit then. But my father remembers that Antonio ended up really exhausted, and he remained in bed for the rest of that day. And when his mother came home that evening, she asked my father's oldest sister to take little Antonio to the hospital quickly because it was obvious that he wasn't doing well. Well, little Antonio died on the way, and my grandmother, my father's mother, told my father that he had killed Antonio. He had killed his brother. There are some stories, and my father told many stories that he didn't tell until, much later in life, and this is one of them. This experience marked my father for most of his life. He carried that guilt, he carried that regret, even when he, rationally understood that it wasn't him. He was only a little child. He might have been 9 years old at the time, maybe 8 or 9 years old, and Antonio was 5. And even when he understood that it wasn't his fault, the words of his mother, he carried forever, and they affected how he saw the world, how he saw his responsibility in the world, and they affected every relationship he had. So this is why I say that the things that hold us prisoner in life are often not the tangible physical things, but and the outside things. We often blame others, but they're the things that we carry in our own hearts and our own minds. By the grace of Jesus Christ, we can be free of those things that hold us prisoner. In John chapter 8, Jesus says, "If the Son makes you free, then you are truly free." And that's my wish and my prayer for you.